Basement Bookers Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Basement Bookers Podcast, a week in professional wrestling that saw the return of Cora Jade, Nikita Lyons, and, of course, the metaphor to in-ring competition. And let's not forget about the tragedy that unfolded on Monday Night Raw. We will speak on that. The unprovoked, the savage attack on an icon in the world of professional wrestling, an immortal, if you will. But enough about that. My name is BasementJer, one half of the Basement Bookers podcast. That means I guess better than the other guy the last time, and he is the world's most baldest man. Actually, you know what? He's the world's most baldest Riz'st man. Because he was Riz before it was cool. My partner on this podcast, RichTheRiz, everybody. RichTheRiz.
Thank you, bro. Yes, I have been the Riz before Riz was a thing. I made Riz a thing. And if you've been following wrestling and following us, you know the deadline has passed. So, but just for you guys, we are extending this offer for the next, I don't know how long, we haven't decided yet. The next 37 people of the Bookiverse to hit that subscribe button will get guaranteed non-exclusive Basement Bookers content for life. So hit that button now.
Well, that's a great deal, I think. Hit that button, but like deadline, we still got to do that. Like, we got to talk about that. So, like last week we did. Remember, we were like, "Oh, him and them," and then
Oh
and you
yeah,
were like,
oh that's what that was.
"Yeah."
Oh okay.
So,
What a
I
wacky
mean,
episode
that was fun to do, I
it
think.
was.
So, do we still have to do that then? I guess.
No, I think we can. I think we can use names now.
Okay, great. Because you got into a lot of trouble, man.
Well, that's all for our predictions episode for this event. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on this and that. Don't forget that.
You can start using names now. Don't let it happen again.
What are
Oh,
you doing? Oh.
dude, we're good now. We can use names again.
We can use names now.
We can use names now.
All right.
All right.
Great. So anyway, let's get going. So, seeing as we're talking about NXT Deadline, we're here to talk about Axiom versus Nathan Frazer, both two men with the charisma that you can fit on the head of a pin, wouldn't you say? But their wrestling ability is the wide side of a barn. That's the difference.
That's right, Jared. This match had all the flippity doodahs you would have expected. I just want to say one thing. I don't remember if I said it on air last week, but not a fan of the Spanish Fly. I think I did say it on air last week.
Yeah. I think it's an overexposed used type of thing to me. You know what I mean? It's the cool factor wears off.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor says stop playing with it. It won't work as well anymore.
That's right. I think honestly the only good implementation I've seen is Cameron Grimes because he only does it when his opponent is running at him.
And he
So
doesn't look like a guy that would do that type of
right,
move, I think.
right.
You don't expect
So
that from him
right. So
until
the
you
guy
do,
running at
but
him, the guy running at him creates the illusion that he's using his opponent's momentum to hit the move. So that makes it look more realistic. So good on you, Grimy.
speaking of momentum and Cameron Grimes, kudos on whoever in the WWE production department decided to use Wrecking Ball for the AR for Kevin Owens there. It was like, finally. Because every time he would just do that, like that cannonball maneuver, I would think of that.
Mm-hmm.
And now the graphic department has once again done it. They've done it. Do it again. Unsung heroes in the production department there at the WWE. Back to Deadline. The
I
right
was
guy
going to
won.
say from your brain to our TVs.
That's right. The right guy won. which is, to me, is the guy standing on the right. You know,
Yeah,
so really good for you. Nothing's gonna
the
come.
left.
Well, I mean, it depends on what direction you're facing. You know what I mean? Because everywhere you look is the front. You know what I'm saying? And it depends on what side of the mirror you happen to be on. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah. We ready for the next match?
Axiom 1, right? Because that's what I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still.
Okay, yeah. I'm just making sure. All right, yes.
Okay.
On to the next.
5 men. RichTheRiz. Take it away.
All right, this match, as BasementJer just said, had 5 men. It was Dijak. Dijak was out first, starting with I don't remember who. I guess it was Josh Briggs. I didn't actually have the order here, but we also
It
know the other
doesn't
five,
matter.
the other 3 guys in the ring was Braun Breaker, Tyler Bate, and
Big
the
strong boy.
eventual winner, deservedly so. I think this is going to be a good storyline progression for him. Trick Willie.
Look, Trick Williams got lucky. He was at a deficit,
Hmm.
but then he went and fixed that deficit. And we all have Josh Briggs to thank for that. Was him who was facing the Northern Lights when it was all said and done. I'm
Hmm.
surprised Braun Breaker doesn't have a bone to pick with him, because weren't for him, we'd have a different issue here now, wouldn't we?
Yep. As not for nothing. As soon as I saw Braun come out and hit the 3 spears for the 3 points in the first 30 seconds he was out there, or whatever ridiculousness it was, I was like, yeah, Trick's got this. Trick, they're going to make Trick overcome. That is the hurdle that Trick's going to overcome to solidify and win this match.
That's right. Unfortunately for Braun Breaker, his speed and intensity is a known game plan that all and everyone are aware of because it's all he knows. So,
Right.
oops.
I mean, you could call him a one-trick pony.
Yep. Yes, you can. You most certainly can. 5 women went out there and Blair Davenport all over the place. I really thought it was going to be Tiffany Stratton, but it was not to be. But this ain't over as far as Fallon Headley and Tiffany Stratton are concerned. Blair Davenport, she's out there. She's friends with Cora Jade a little bit. The returning Cora Jade, who's she's enhanced her abilities in ring and out of the ring, and appears to be channeling the spirit of AJ Lee into some kind of lady. So, yes, to keep things from being age restricted, let's talk about this match here. What do you make of that?
So I thought this was a strong match. I liked Metaphor's involvement. Um, weird. So anytime you get a situation where someone has to go into a cage as a penalty, and there are multiple people in the match, multiple people that can be put into the cage during the match, and you only have one cage, we know what's going to happen. There's going to be fighting in the cage. That's what we got. We actually got it with the men. On the women's side, Metaphor blocked the door, so they had to fight their way out over the top. Fallon going through the announce desk at the hands of Tiffany Stratton. Obviously, we are, as you mentioned, we're going to continue that feud because Tiffany doesn't think Fallon is quite on her level. Certainly not top shelf as she claims. As far as the rest of the match, strong match. As you mentioned, we saw Blair Davenport, who was the first to score a pinfall on Fallon Henley. By the way, ultimately gets the win with 3 falls.
Fallon Headley, once when she was a little girl, she was at the bar that her mother and father own, and she looked up and she seen that the whiskey on the top shelf there, and she swore that she'd also be top shelf one day. That's a real thing that was said on commentary at the beginning of this match. You couldn't come up with a better thing, but okay, sure. I'm inspired by alcohol. Look how up there it is. I want to be that.
I feel like
What?
NXT. I feel like they feel like NXT is small enough now that they can kind of lean into this kind of stuff. But like, this is stuff that's going to get erased come main roster time.
Yeah, it's like, listen, we got nothing here. Let's just let's
Yeah.
just build some wins here. Maybe they'll like your in-ring stuff, and it won't make them matter that like your gimmick is just like you work at a bar. Like, but hey, there's people whose gimmicks were that they worked at bars, and they're at the highest level of power. So hey, it doesn't matter what the gimmick is. It matters what your follow through is. If Fallon Henley, you know, she's got things. Two very important things: guts and toughness, which is the same thing I just said. So, because isn't it the same? Like, if you
So,
can you say someone
uh,
is gutsy and tough?
yeah, I think they're two different things. Tough is a resistance to defeat, whereas guts is more like bravery. So you could say guts and grit, which is a popular word now at the moment.
All right, basement booker, RichTheRiz. What's next for Kalani Jordan? Was this just I'm here, guys. Look at me here. Did I get Kalani Jordan's name wrong? Did I get
No, you got it.
okay?
This was going to be her sort of breakout performance, even in defeat. I think it went well for her. I think right now they're like, all right, Dana's gone. You just lost this match. Hang back for a bit. We'll find a storyline for you, and then you'll be back. So I think she'll probably be off for a couple weeks until they figure something out.
Okay, and we don't have to worry about anybody else. Like, as long as Metaphor's around, you know, Lash Legend's gonna just always have fun. She's gonna do whatever, right?
Yep. Hmm.
All right. Well, looking forward to what happens after. Does Blair Davenport beat Leary and Valkyria? We know, does Cora Jade eventually become the NXT Women's Champion? Time will only tell us that, but we can only speculate. I would say having Cora Jade not win the NXT Championship is fine for me. Like, if she did her NXT run without winning the belt and she just went to SmackDown, and
Hmm.
that'd be fine for me. Um,
Yeah.
being
I
honest.
I think so too. Like in a way, she's on kind of on the level of Trick Williams, where they had good, strong enough performances that they don't need the title.
That's right, brother. Well, I think it's time to talk about the next match on the deadline card. Don't you think that?
Yes.
Speaking about speculation, well, listen, this match led me to speculation. I couldn't believe it. Lex is Kang. He lost. Um, Carmelo Hayes won. And Carmelo Hayes, who's was attacked on Tuesday, maybe. I didn't see anybody attack him. And he seems to be fine enough to go and eventually defeat Grayson Waller on SmackDown. He was cleared.
Yep.
So something tells me, I don't know if that actually happened. One of these guys is pulling a fast one. So what do you think about that match that they had there and all the things I said?
So before that, after the attack, during the closing segment of NXT this week, we saw Carmelo Hayes hobble out to interrupt the conversation between Trick and Ilya, and it was his left knee he was selling earlier in the night when he first got attacked, but then it was his right knee he was limping on when he got to the ring. And Ilya was the first one on TV to say if you even did get attacked. So obviously the story is he faked an attack, and I can't I don't I there are far too many attacks in NXT where the victim doesn't see or her assailant.
The
Far too
thing,
much.
first of all, it's not even poorly lit.
Right.
It's not the parking lot.
right?
That is what leads me to believe that either one or both of these attacks are bullshit because it did not occur in the parking lot. If it were to occur in the parking lot, legit.
Mm-hmm.
These did not happen in the parking lot. This happened. Might as well be broad daylight, broad backlight, room light. Lights
Mm-hmm.
were on. Nothing went dark. Nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very interesting. It just happens to be this situation.
Now, if it was Mello that attacked Trick, right? Is the actual motive that he thinks if it really came down to it, Trick would beat him? So he's threatened by Trick?
I mean, maybe it stands to reason, unless he's like, he's not like, he's friends with him. You know, they're friends with each other and they believe in each other's abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, he thinks he's great, not just because he says it, he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for both of them. So, yeah, maybe. That's how it works. If you think like they wouldn't be riding together if they didn't think they were awesome.
Right.
So that's what I think. I think maybe this is it. I think Carmelo Hayes is on. He might be the guy to beat Logan Paul for the United States Championship. And he's about to wrestle Kevin Owens.
Yeah. In the
Just
tournament.
so he's got to get through Kevin Owens. And remember, Kevin Owens, he's got a little history with the United States Championship too. He had fought John Cena on a Monday Night Raw right
Mhm.
off of NXT.
He stepped on the U.S. title.
Yeah, but still, like, there's a whole history here,
Mm-hmm.
guys. So let's remember. Maybe it's time for him to do the, you know. So we might at least see Carmelo Hayes versus Logan Paul.
Yep. This whole Carmelo Hayes thing, the U.S. title tourney, I like it. I dig it. Will he be the one to dethrone Logan Paul? I mean, I think it might be a little early, but if Hayes goes all the way and Hayes does face Logan Paul, I think he's going to have a great showing because for two reasons. One, company seems to be behind him, and two, someone deny his greatness, please. Go ahead, try it.
Do you think Carmelo Hayes worked with Logan Paul to help him get ready?
Could be,
Because they used Carmelo Hayes to help Cody when Cody was getting ready to come back and shit.
could be.
He
It's
might
certainly
be that
possible.
guy. So that might be. So I'm saying like that's might make the chemistry
Hmm.
of the match good if he helped train the guy. So that's something to think about.
Hmm. Either
All right.
way, either way, I truly believe, and you got to be blind to not see it. Both Hayes and Trick have fantastic futures ahead of them as long as they can stay healthy, and I can't wait to view it because I'm pretty sure we saw both of their like first televised matches ever.
Yeah, probably. It's likely. With this here show
Mhm.
NXT. So all right.
All right. Next up, we had Dragon Lee defending the North American. No, sorry, duh, Dirty Dom.
Spoiler alert.
Right. Sorry about that. Dirty Dom trying, attempting to defend his North American Championship against Dragon Lee. However, Dragon Lee successfully obtaining the championship using what they're calling the Operation Dragon, which is a tilt-a-whirl inverted DDT for anyone taking notes there.
That's right, RichTheRiz. Now Dragon Lee is on the Wesley Memorial North American Championship run. He's out there. He's saying he's gonna put it out there all on the line. Just put the whole kit and caboodle, the old baseball bat and balls right on the desk for everybody to see. Come at me, bro. I will fight anyone, Wesley style. Fight you at a urinal, fight you at a gas station, fight you in a roller coaster bathroom, and then face you one on one, mano a mano in the squared circle, anywhere, anytime, SmackDown or NXT, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I
So,
guess. And next week he already has a challenger lined up, but he doesn't know who it is. What? It's the No Quarter Catch crew.
if I had to bet, uh, as I like to call the Black Bull Combat Club at home, which basically is what it is. This sounds like a Regal idea, if anything. And fine, I guess. But my prediction, if I was booking it, he'd have to all of them, like
Yeah,
each one individually,
yeah. Now it
like
start with
a
the rookie.
like a Mortal Kombat boss tower, baby. Just like, but he's the champion, and
Yeah.
he's got to prove, he's the man.
If they do that, I bet. So let's say they go from like bottom up. They're gonna start with the rookie, whose name I always forget because he's brand new.
He's
Uh,
brand new.
yeah. I think they'd probably put Dempsey next when really it should be Kemp next because Kemp kind of just came in later.
Yeah, I would put Kemp. Kemp is like a potato. Like you could just add him to anything. You know what I mean? To make it a little bit more. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like if
I
you
love
need like
that
a
analogy.
thank you. So that's what I think about Kemp. So
I thought you
I think
you say like
that's
his promo skills are very much like a potato.
I mean, look, yeah, because there's different ways to deal with a potato. There's you can bake a potato.
Hmm.
You can make the potato with the French fries. Like if you season potato good enough, it tastes good.
Hmm.
It sometimes tastes no good. You know what I mean? So I don't know anything about cooking, but I know what I said. So
I think you
that's
know what
good.
you like.
That's right. I do know what I like. And yeah, and then like Gulak, and I would say Dempsey would be the guy at the top there because I think he's got the most potential. I know Gulak's the most skilled, he's got the most experience, but he's just really never hit. He's got this ceiling. You know
Mm.
what I mean? As much as we enjoy his technical skills, and I think he would tell you too. I think he would agree.
I feel like Gulak was connecting a lot better when he was doing his PowerPoint presentation gimmick. The crowd was
Look,
really digging it.
I know a lot of people did. I thought it was kind of amusing, but you that can get you but so far. That's not like a generational gimmick, That's not The Rock. You know what
Mm.
I mean? That's not LA Knight.
Yeah,
That's not a John Cena. That's not a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
but
What? You know what I mean? That's not then again a lot of that isn't. And it's like, what would you say Triple H? Maybe that's not a Triple H, the game, but a lot of a lot of that in the promo, like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? What I'm saying with that,
Every time.
So, and
Hmm.
we still respect the game. You know what I mean? He's just great. But they all had their things, like
The best was when H was
Warriors.
doing that. I don't remember who it was with, but oh, maybe it was Rock. And then he's like, "Listen, I know we got to do this thing where we're all up in each other's faces, but like, we're a little close right now. We're a little close,
Yeah,
and I
that's
feel
when the
like,
Rock had come back.
yeah, that was
And
great."
yeah, those are all very good. I'd recommend people watch them because I'm not chancing that putting it in here and them taking it off of here. So
But you at home, you know how to find it.
just do it. Yeah, more of that, more of those things. I love
Mhm.
those. Um, all right, you ready for the next one? Everybody's favorite white wheat baby face here, Roxanne Perez. Tough luck. Tough luck because which was odd because I would have thought like this would be the end of the feud. Uh, you know, skeet, skeet, skeet. But Kianna James with the assist
Mhm.
of another character.
Izzy
Um,
Dame.
Izzy Dame. RichTheRiz, what can you tell us about her?
Her name sounds awfully like Dizzy Dame, and that's all I know about her.
Well, she's friends with Kiana James, I guess, or just doesn't like Roxanne Perez.
Both, I mean, they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, like this is. I really thought Roxanne Perez was going to win. Like I said last week,
Hmm.
maybe, or I alluded to directly or indirectly, at any point that it would be her. But Kianna James, not she's not just going to go out there to work, and do jobs. I guess, and she's out there. Does that mean she wins the feud though? If she's only like it's still 2-1.
Is I
Like, cause Roxanne Perez and her fought in the was it trick or street fight or
hmm
whatever. Then they
Yep,
have another gimmick match, or is this the only This is like the second time they're doing this. Then, so they're tied. For some reason, I thought it was like 3 times they had fought each other, but I'm
I
having
keep
trouble recollecting.
yeah I keep flashing back to the supermarket thing, but that was Blair Davenport.
Yeah, Blair Davenport, who, she's gonna have herself a title match at New Year's Evil.
That's
She's
right.
got her own thing going. Cruella's got it going on these
Hmm.
days.
Yep,
Player.
that's
So
right.
yeah.
But
Uh,
Roxanne Perez and sorry, you gotta do Kiana James. By the way, I hate the gimmick that she says her name along with the announcer.
yeah, you shouldn't do that because you're a bad guy,
Or
right?
even still, it's like, are you trying to memorize your own character name? What is that?
No, because it's like that's who she is, That's like I'm her. You know what I mean? To me, that's like that's this saying this lady saying my name. That's who I am. You know what I mean? I am this. That's what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. That's my interpretation.
Okay, I it's not for me.
I mean, it's not for me either. I'm just
Mhm,
trying to like give some kind of like I'm trying to help her out here, you know what I mean? Be a
mhm,
devil's advocate, if you
mhm.
will.
Also, why was
Um,
she allegedly shown leaving WWE headquarters?
I don't know. That was strange. It's all very strange.
No definitive follow up on that yet.
Maybe she went to go talk to somebody. She's a mover and a shaker. Maybe she was like, let me get this Izzy Dame person a job to help me.
Maybe. Speaking of movers and shakers, not to go too far off of the topic of this match, but it is. So Ava is Shawn Michaels' assistant now.
It's nepotism. Like The Rock, he's like, listen, bro, like her wrestling, if you could if you could do it, she could do like, hey, a little bit of you get a little, what do you think? And Shawn Michaels like, all right, no problem. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then there you go. There she is. That's what I thought. I like sometimes like when they don't explain things and I don't care, I'll make up a story and I'll go with it and I'll be fine with it. And that's my canon right there. So if you want that to be your canon, then there you go. The Rock
I
made
didn't
a
know we
phone
were
call.
showing our cannons on this podcast.
I got no choice. I'm the basement champion. I
Okay.
got to represent. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
I got to put it out there, you know?
Alrighty then.
So let's get on to the main event, which sees Ilya Dragunov taking on Baron Corbin. I was begged and pleaded with. RichTheRiz wants to handle the main event, and so I've decided, as the champion of the basement, I will be kind. Because after all, it is promotion season. So why don't you go ahead?
It is indeed promotion season. I'm not sure who begged you, but thank you anyway. Our
Don't be
main
coy.
event. Our main event saw Ilya Dragunov defending his NXT Championship against the ship burner himself, Mr. Baron Corbin, who I believe is on his fourth WWE theme song, if we count the mashup between the I Am the Darkness and the whatever that other one was. Anyway, this was a hard hitting match. I think part of this match, part of the purpose of this match was to show us that besides being like a couple hit wonder and a couple of athletic things, Corbin can really get it done in the ring. Um,
Yes, looking like a Mr. Clean for the modern audience.
mhm,
Baron Corbin does indeed have those attributes.
that's right. So this was a good, strong match. I like this match a lot. I love the fact that Ilya Dragunov as champion can bring the best out of anyone. So I look forward to a long title reign for Ilya. That being said, I mean, in case you didn't see, that's obviously a spoiler. Ilya defended successfully using the Torpedo Moscow after a hug. After the match, Trick came out to the stage to pose because now Trick is number one contender. And we saw Hayes come out as well.
But why?
We don't know. I think only the live audience knows
Yeah.
because it cut off.
If I was Trick, before I came out, I
Mm,
would have somebody put baby oil on me. I would come out there shining and just be like, pow. You know what I'm saying? I just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I'd be
mhm,
like, this is what you're in for. This is what you're in for, Ilya. Like, I know right now you may have avoided a wolf, but I'm like not a wolf. I'm a trick whooper, whatever that may entail. I'm going to do that to you. That's what I would have done,
mhm,
you know? So, as for Son of Mr. Clean, I don't know what's next. If he could uphold his father's legacy or not. Now that he couldn't get the NXT championship. And now it makes sense to me why they kept giving him all these victories. Like, why would they let Corbin beat Braun Breaker?
mhm,
And that is to give him some wins to make him a threat to Ilya.
mhm,
Because Corbin, he's from the big leagues. He came down here. He's beat people down here that are big.
mhm,
And now that's a test that he's passed.
mhm. Yeah, it was
Interesting.
all to build the win for Ilya to make it
Thing,
mean that much more.
things are starting to make a lot of sense. And it makes a lot more sense when we talk about certain Monday Night Raw happenings. It's time to catch everybody up on what's been going on the main stage. We've been away for a little bit, and that's the next one.
That's right.
But before I want to know, how long do you think Ilya Dragunov holds on to the NXT championship? Guessing right now with no information after NXT New Year's Evil, do we have a new NXT champion?
Not at New Year's Evil. I think the distractions, whether it be actual physical distractions or just him being preoccupied mentally, will take Trick out of the game. Um, so no, I don't think Trick is going to win the NXT title this time around, at least. I think Ilya holds it until or through and beyond the WrestleMania NXT Premium Live event, whatever that's called. I don't remember.
Me too. I think he's going to still be the champion, regardless of what happens. I think once again the streak continues that this partnership will survive another friendship. The Basement Bookers podcast still together, and Trick Williams and Mello will probably break up. Don't feel bad, guys. There have been many of you. So many groups, so many tag teams have fallen on the wayside as the streak continues, as we continue to ride on, and the rest of you continue to destroy each other. The mountaintop is too high, the air is too thick. We can't do exercise. It's too hard. It's too hard because of the atmosphere up here. It's too hard.
That's right. It's a very thin atmosphere.
RichTheRiz, tell me something that you wanted to talk about, Liv Morgan.
Yep, just real quick hit of the NRB. Liv Morgan was arrested. This was Monday. Um, in the state of Florida for possession of drugs. My guess is it was in her car. This report here doesn't actually specify. This report that I rather almost thoroughly skimmed. Um, so we don't know what's happening there. It's not more than 20 grams though, and I don't really know grams, but 20 grams doesn't seem like a lot. But it says she might have up to a 6-month driving license suspension and be subject to random drug testing.
Personally, I think this is dumb. But the law's the law, and whatever. You know,
Hmm.
um, this this is one of those sources nowhere near the situation. I heard somewhere on X something that like the pen that was in the Jeep that wasn't hers, that it was probably left there by a friend of hers. But that also sounds like something a teenager would say when like their parents finds it in the car.
Hmm.
So like I don't know, but like just because something sounds like a thing that would be said, that doesn't mean that that's necessarily what it is. So you can't like that's why that's in this segment that I like to call that my part of this segment. I'm the sub part, the sub segment sources nowhere near because just because it sounds like bullshit doesn't mean that's what it is. You get your day in court.
Hmm.
And you shouldn't really though. But like, as long as no one got hurt, you know what I'm saying. But like, and she didn't test, high or whatever. Then I didn't mean to say that. I meant like in height, in
Yeah,
whatever.
of
So
elevated THC levels.
yes, from what I understand, she might be wellness violated. So I think she's got like the 30 days or something. So,
I saw that, and that I saw a tweet by some Sean Ross Sapp fake account.
oh, okay. So
So
maybe it's nothing. Because I
yeah,
thought, I
because I
don't
saw
know.
that, I literally said, "Holy shit, really?" And I clicked on it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's not his ad." Okay.
I don't think this is a rehab situation either, man. I don't think you need to send her to rehab or whatever. You're already down a blonde superstar as is. You don't want Liv Morgan on the shelf longer.
Hmm.
Because Charlotte Flair, I know this is gonna be hard news for me to put out here. Like for some people, maybe you didn't watch SmackDown yet. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's hard to settle in, but 6 to 9 months, allegedly.
Hmm.
I say allegedly because whenever your favorite female superstar, she goes out there and she gets her moment, Charlotte Flair will always be there to just mess it up. So don't worry, she will be back sooner than that. Let me tell you right now. I'm gonna say surprise Royal Rumble entrant or not. Maybe not, but I don't I think I really hope she's okay. And I hope that I'm right that she's definitely gonna her music's gonna play and it's gonna be a whole thing, you know?
No, hope so. Definitely hate to see an injury.
Yeah. You hate to see it because it sucks.
That's right.
And everyone takes time off your career
Hmm.
because even if you heal up, it's not like you heal up like the best.
Yeah,
So,
and
which is
consequently,
why
every one is a detriment to your post career life. Just ask Mick Foley.
I try not to ask him anything. That guy's a lunatic. All right, I don't want to deal with that problem.
Did you see him win the 24/7 title from a fan?
There was a roll up. It was a schoolboy.
No, he put him to sleep.
Oh,
Maybe another guy. I don't know. The one I saw, he put him to sleep.
okay. So he's known for doing this. It's a good thing that it's no longer recognized.
Hmm.
The greatest 24/7 champion. Was assaulted.
That's right.
This
We're going to
Monday night,
talk about that.
right now,
Right.
this Monday Night Raw, I was disgusted. I almost wrote the cable company, and I'm trying to call Triple H, but it keeps saying that the number I've dialed is no longer in service or something.
Mm.
I don't know what that's about. It's probably a prank that Hunter likes to play on his friends. It's like, oh, that's right. Yeah, this is not even his number. Okay,
Mm.
haha. But I know it is. I know it is, and I didn't like that. I can't believe Damian Priest would attack our truth like that. I was on board with the Judgment Day
Mm-hmm.
until that. Until that, I feel like the line's been crossed. I can't. I don't know what to do
Assault
with
on
that.
a legend.
Yeah.
All he wanted to do was decorate the clubhouse.
There is no door, so you can't lock it. Stop saying
There's
lock the
allegedly a
door.
front door and a back door, and they
There
blocked
is
them both.
no. There's no door. Okay, it's in the back.
Are you sure it's
There's
not
no
like the
door.
APA door?
I- That no. I would if I saw a doorway, then it would be like the APA door. But since we don't, and there is none, there's nothing. At
Now we
least
don't
the APA
always.
had the doorway.
Now we don't always see the doors on the arenas, but we presume they're there, right?
Sure.
So they could have an APA style door in both the front and the back of the clubhouse.
They don't though.
But you don't know that.
No, I do
Because we
though.
haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not there.
No, I do though. I do though. Okay. I do. They don't even have walls. Like the side you're
Neither did the
seeing.
APA. You don't need walls for
Uh,
a door.
all right, I'm moving on because we're gonna sit here and argue about doors and no doors on like made
The
made up places.
door.
What do you want to talk about? What's next, buddy?
Man, that assault just had me reeling.
Yeah, like I don't know why to do that. Why would they like attack him like that? He didn't even do nothing. It's we already know your heels.
Mm-hmm.
If only they didn't chap their John Cena so much. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved if eventually, which it won't happen because of stupid actor crap. They decided to go back to work. So they took John Cena away from us. They sacrificed him on the altar of Solo, which I'll never understand. But like you could have had our truth team up with John Cena and a tag team match against Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have had John Cena and our truth win the tag team championships. That would have been so cool. Like a nice little tag team title run, our truth and John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, a living legend and his childhood idol.
I know. That's like it writes itself.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest.
That's better than Braun Strowman and John Cohn's kid.
Yeah, what would you call it? The Cena truth? Like I don't know. And like thank God like for the Creed brothers. I was getting upset. I'm like I was thinking somebody would come out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole locker room would empty out, but only the Creed brothers came out to stop these guys from beating up and like our truth. Like when I hear names, I hear Bob Backlund. I hear the Iron Sheik.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Iron Sheik. I hear Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase. I hear Bret the Hitman Hart. I hear
Mm-hmm.
legends. Our truth. That's like attacking Bruno San Martino
That's right.
in the ring. All right, you just gotta dig him up and just beat up his body in the ring like that. You're just beating up our truth. It's awful.
Terrible.
I
It's
was
a travesty.
disgusted. It was a travesty. Justice for truth. I demand justice for truth.
Hashtag justice for truth.
The Creed brothers had an interesting Monday Night Raw. I think they came out twice.
They did.
So
They're busy.
they,
They're
they
involved.
yeah, they're pretty high on them. RichTheRiz, let's talk about the match. The match that has the internet abuzz.
Mm-hmm.
Maxine Dupree versus Rhea Ripley. Diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, not saying anything because it's not Rhea Ripley's fault. I think there was just a miscommunication there, maybe not enough jump. And Maxine Dupree stepped there for the finish
Mm-hmm.
and decides to just like, oh, I guess I'll tap her out because this is just. But the match itself was, I mean, look, I think they wanted to give her a chance. She wanted to prove herself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board, you know?
Yeah, and it's okay. Like we know that Maxine is on the green side. Uh, but like her character work is excellent. It's like a 9+, right? Her in-ring work still needs work.
I
That's
felt like
okay.
she might have been intimidated. She looked intimidated in there. Like Rhea Ripley has that effect, obviously, but like she looked very intimidated. Do you think
It's
so?
an
I looked very
it's
intimidated.
I would dare to say it's Maxine Dupri's most high profile match she's had ever.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she's the women's world's champions,
Right?
and it's one thing to suplex a Valhalla, but you're in there in a singles match
With the champ.
against like this creature
Mhm.
from nightmares
Mhm.
conjured up from the nightmares of monsters. Do you
Mhm.
understand what that means?
I do.
So,
Like
you
Rhea
know,
is speaking of character work, her character work is a 10, right? Her in-ring work of course is also a 10. Rhea is on top for a reason. Um so certainly Maxine Dupri having only a small handful of matches under her belt would have been intimidated going in on Raw facing the Women's World Champion.
that's right, RichTheRiz. Yeet. And we're on to the next segment here. We're talking about Jimmy J, Yeet Uso. The Yeet is back in town. RichTheRiz. Aren't you excited about this or something?
Yeet.
Okay, great. So on Monday Night Raw, we're allowed to say Yeet. We're allowed to spray red mist into people's eyes. Look, I'm not conspiratorial, but here's what I think happened here. I think I know where this feud came from. One day, Cody was on his phone. He said, Triple H, I got to talk to you. Triple H is like, okay, Cody, listen, I told you we're not doing blood. And Cody's like, wait a minute, hear me out.
Mhm.
What if red mist? And then Triple H sends an eye roll emoji.
Mhm.
Then he sends the thinking face emoji.
Mhm.
And then he sends K. And then Cody's like, yes. And this is where we go. This is where it came from. The reason Nakamura is feuding with Cody
Mhm.
is so Cody could get covered in red mist and he can fill his blood quota.
And then
Uh,
eventually Cody will actually bleed after taking the mist from whatever, and he'll say, "Real blood, cry me a river."
oh my God. Don't forget to insert the laugh track here. Okay. Throw that down there. Oh my goodness gracious. Pierce, he's got a thing to do.
He has a few
Um,
things to do.
Rich Perez, take us through CM Punk, your favorite guy. Every time he says, I love you guys, I'm home. I'm waiting. I'm like counting down when that becomes a part of the heel persona he's doing next because I have a feeling that that's where that's leading to.
Yeah,
Like
Seth is the face.
I think Seth is the face, but I think also Punk is the face.
I don't
Like he
like it.
thinks he is, that kind of thing.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, Cancer Man's week or weekend, I should say. He went to SmackDown as we did we discuss? Was that? Yeah, we discussed that. Did we? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. He went to NXT Deadline, opening the show, teasing, going to NXT.
That's only going to be for it's not just that. Okay, he's not going to commit himself there.
Right. And what did he say? He said Raw gave him by far the best offer because, of course, it's a 3-hour show compared to the other 2-hour shows. They're going to have more money to play with from the advertisers. Duh. But he wanted to be able to face. I don't remember. Wait, what did he say? It doesn't matter what he said. Ultimately, he wants to be able to face Seth freaking Rollins for the world title when he wins the Royal Rumble. Please don't make him win the Royal Rumble.
I don't know if he'll win the Royal Rumble. I do know if I were him, in my deal, I'd want to main event a WrestleMania. So he could theoretically wrestle Seth at Mania.
Fine. I just don't want him to win the Rumble. Let's not do that.
My guess is Cody has to win an elimination chamber to get to Roman.
Hmm.
That's my guess. But it tracks. I mean, it's a great way to get juice.
Yep.
So
He's fiending right now.
he's being well. If
He's
Nakamura's in
he,
there,
he's home.
we
He's home. He's like, Brandy, I have so much blood in my body. I got to get it out.
well listen. If you think about it, the Nakamura thing is a setup for that too, because he could wind up in that elimination chamber match.
Yep.
And there's your red mist, and
Hmm.
Cody gets to be covered in it, and he's fine. He'll get something in him in his hair,
And Triple H sends another eye roll emoji.
And there you go. Let's go. That's just gonna be it. And who knows who's in this elimination chamber? Mm. Yo, oh my God, what are solos in that elimination chamber?
Yo, the
Because
next
we
tribal
now,
chief, right?
that's right, as we now know, the next tribal chief is Solo, contrary to what Jimmy was believing. Did you
Now,
watch? Did you catch that?
I
I mean, it
did.
was plain as
Of
day
course
for
I did.
everybody. It was like
Yeah.
one of the funniest things to happen. I was sitting there, I told my wife, I'm like, you got to come see this.
Yeah, it
She
was
was
one of the,
distracted by the loops on the back of Jimmy's shoes, but I guess she didn't appreciate it as much as I did. But I was dying. I thought it was very funny.
so I was gonna say this is probably the funniest non-Sammy bloodline segment of all. Combined with Jimmy Yeet backstage.
It's kind of like this, okay? It's like
It's like this.
it's not the best version of the Bloodline storyline right now. I feel
Hmm.
like how like you get a movie,
Hmm.
like there's the Bloodline movie. And then like Bloodline 2, it's not in Bloodline 2, they had to make some changes, some characters left the team,
Hmm.
and Bloodline 3 is the result of Bloodline 2, and it's not, it's like instead of having like more than a handful of great moments,
Hmm.
like you get these and it's like, oh, that's pretty cool because it's been pretty sparse in
Hmm.
moments like this, and the third movie in the trilogy, as it were, even if it is a trilogy, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of the lull in the
yeah,
action.
yeah, like that's why it was like a breath of fresh air, what with the tribal chief being missing in action
Hmm.
now. And I
Now,
see a lot of
mhm,
rumors going on, talking about maybe WrestleMania 40 is the last one for tribal chief, that he's not going to re-sign or whatever. That's all hearsay and conjecture. And until it's said by him, it's all bullshit. I don't
right.
believe any of that.
Hmm.
They were saying he's going to take a break after last year Mania. I mean, his schedule did like kind of get lowered a little bit, but not really on a break. You know,
Right. So speculation here.
yeah.
Did What are the odds that our tribal chief Roman Reigns said that Solo is the next heir and came up with this whole concept of promotion season to promote Solo as the next tribal chief, the tribal heir, as he said, simply as an effort to get Jimmy in line.
I don't think it's going to have that desired effect. I feel like Jimmy's lost. Because remember, he told him, he's like, "Let's promotion season. If somebody were to take out Randy Orton, maybe they get a little bump. You know what I'm saying?" And
Hmm.
he didn't get it done.
Nope, he did not.
He didn't get it done, and that
Out of
led
nowhere.
us to a return.
That's right.
AJ Styles is back, and for some reason, AJ Styles does not like LA Knight.
Hmm.
What's that all about? Like AJ was last attacked by the Bloodline, which is why Roman was confused. I guess his receipt was that phenomenal forearm,
Yep.
and I guess he's done with him, and he's on to LA Knight for some reason. Maybe it's that whole megastar thing and saying no one has ever until him has had
As meteoric arise.
yeah, that's it. That's it. I think AJ Styles takes exception to that. That's what I was thinking.
It could be. And you would think that I would know this offhand or have researched it, but I fail. I wonder if they
Eli
might be.
Drake and AJ Styles.
Yeah. I wonder if they're sort of pulling some history from TNA. Yeah.
Maybe I think like it's more though disrespect. Like I feel like if that's like like a B. Like if not that then that. But I feel like
Mhm.
it's more likely. It's more like I'm AJ Styles. I
So
was the
I
face that
think,
runs the place for like years. I've been WWE champion. You're just like,
yeah, I think AJ was there for like 3 years when he finally
oh
got like
yeah,
a big run and night. But then again, AJ didn't start in NXT.
nope.
He bypassed it because he's freaking AJ Styles. So one would argue that maybe they have been there about the same amount of time if we're counting NXT as main roster canon.
I agree. I would though. You know what I
So
mean?
I mean, ultimately, we're one would imagine we're going to find out next week on SmackDown.
Oh, we better because
Mhm.
AJ Styles looks like he own that juice.
Oh
He
yeah.
own that. Oh, hey buddy, let's go.
Mhm.
Let's go. We give just pay who you gotta pay. I don't care. Like me, when it comes to pro wrestling, like I said, I'll say it again. Fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do what you gotta do. Do what you
Yep.
gotta do. It's acting, baby. It's pro wrestling. Don't worry about it. All right. We're not, it's not like a cage fight. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Big, big, big.
And not for nothing. Like
Yo, just go see the Rock's guy. Just call the Rock.
no, no, like AJ's like for his frame, like he's pretty jacked right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like to get like rock size, mm, you
No,
know.
I'm not saying just him. I'm like everybody else. Like,
Oh
talk
yeah,
to the Rock's guy. Let's go.
yeah,
Just have Cody just.
yeah. It's Cody. Oh man,
You gotta
what
be
was I saying?
careful with Cody. He'll work his peck off again, man. Just like, chill the fuck out, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe like throw some crazy glue on that. But
yeah,
anyway,
dude.
what
Yeah,
I was saying, we haven't seen the Good Brothers in a while either. Like Mia Yim's kind of just been on her own, doing her own thing.
yeah. I kind of like wrote them off my fantasy team, kind of thing. Like, it's
Mhm.
like in my mind, it's like, all right, well, I
Yeah.
guess we're not taking this seriously anymore.
Now, yeah. Now the Good Brothers are decent at comedy. I feel like within the confines of WWE, sometimes it doesn't land. Contrary to Southpaw, where it was on point. It's like some of it wasn't really landing. I felt in WWE, or maybe it was just too scripted for them. But I feel like their strongest work is as heels,
Yeah,
and
I think heels and like their work translated better with New Japan Wrestling than it does, I feel, with like this audience. I think.
yeah, it definitely does. Like
Yeah.
their character work is more geared towards the Japanese audience, and
Yeah,
that's just
that's
you
fine. I'm fine
get
with
over
that.
how you get over, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't care where I'm over as long as I'm over, bro.
Yeah, but one would say the OC could be the next heel faction.
They're all heels though. Like the only face faction is Alpha Academy, and I don't think Creed Brothers are a faction. They're a tag team. You
Yeah, they're
know.
a tag team with Ivy.
Yeah. Because you got
Um,
Judgment Day, Bloodline. You know, heels.
there's also the loose alliance of like Cody and Jay and
It's called being
KO and LA
faces.
Knight and Orton, basically everyone that is anti-bloodline.
There's plenty of faces, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
Every show's got good. good face. I don't count NXT when I say every show. I guess I should say Raw and SmackDown has a healthy balance
Hmm.
of like faces. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I before we move on because we're running a little long here.
What?
I kind of like what Escobar's doing. Like I feel like that was gonna be like a meme, like just to blame Carlito for everything.
Hmm.
You know, like RichTheRiz was late for the podcast because of Carlito. It was Carlito's fault. Uh,
You know, it's like when you're a pet parent, right? You got a bunch of pets, and let's say that's Ray, right? And he goes out, he finds another stray, brings it home, and now all of a sudden there's
it's
all this
eating his
discord.
face.
There's all this discord. I wasn't gonna go that far,
Oh,
man.
okay.
There's all this discord in the house. Like the former stray is constantly fighting with the pets with the family you already had, and you end up getting bit,
Yeah,
breaking up a melee. And that's what happened to Ray. Ray's knee is the bite on the ankle as a result of breaking up the melee.
that's acceptable. Yeah,
And where are Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro right now?
I think they got shelved by Escobar.
True, but are they like? Do they really still need to be selling? It's been a while already. Yeah,
I
like
dude, like
they weren't weapons.
you're asking the wrong guy. If it were up to me, like they would be there, but like maybe they got plans for them, you know? Like maybe they didn't work out too good where they're at, right?
Oh, LWO would be a
Yeah.
face faction, but where are they? Where's Carlito?
That's a great question. He's had like 1.5 matches since he's come back. Is his schedule full? I feel like they don't got anything for him to do really. I guess it's gonna be him and Escobar, so he'll come back and wrestle Escobar. But like, why didn't he wrestle him? Why did they run the injury angle with Dragon Lee? I don't know if he's hurt.
So maybe it was to get him off TV. Maybe so. Okay, so maybe they're all off TV right now because Ray's injury was out of the blue,
Maybe they're
and
selling being taken out, except for Ray being at the show. But if he's
yeah,
not
and
on
then the
SmackDown,
whole and like let's just say the whole LWO right now is on pause, except Santos, who's just going to continue doing his own thing until Ray's healthy and yada yada.
I guess that's just gonna be what it is. They'll
And
just
Carlito's just in catering, eating apples.
hey, if they're free, eat as many as you want. A doctor will be staying away as long as you eat them a day.
That's cool.
So yeah. Um, Look, unless there's something else you wanted to get into, I thought maybe we should just hit the old dusty trail and let everybody know what the deal is.
All right. Well, if you don't know the deal, I mean, you're on YouTube, you watch things, right? You know what you got to do. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit the follow, do all the things, comment, let us know your thoughts on the LWO, on Baron Corbin, on Judgment Day, on whatever wrestling related. Let us know down below. And Jer's got a party message.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know that parting message. Oh yeah, it's come. The match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the Booker.